The street went quiet. Not the normal quiet of early morning. This was a shock quiet. 3 shiny Rolls-Royce cars slowly turned into the narrow roadside where a small food stand stood. The engines purred like lions that had money to burn. People stopped walking. Drivers hit their brakes. Plates of food froze in midair. The food stand owner, Mama Ifunanya, stood still. Her spoon slipped from her hand and fell into the pot with a soft plop. Her eyes widened. "Is this for me?" she whispered. The first car stopped. Then the second. Then the third. All 3 doors stayed closed. The crowd held its breath. Before we continue, tap like, share this story, and comment where you're watching from. Are you watching from Lagos, Abuja, London, or somewhere else in the world? Mama Ifunanya's heart started beating fast. Her hands shook as she wiped them on her apron. She had sold food on this street for many years. She had seen rich people pass by before, but never like this. Then, slowly, the door of the first Rolls-Royce opened, and that was when Mama Ifunanya realized her life was about to change forever. But let us go back, way back, to the days when Mama Ifunanya had nothing but a small pot, a tired smile, and a kind heart. Many years earlier, the same street looked very different. No fancy cars, no crowd, no cameras, just dust, noise, and hunger. Mama Ifunanya was not always called Mama. Her real name was Ifunanya Okiri. She was a thin woman with strong hands and gentle eyes. She woke up every day before the sun. She tied her wrapper tight, covered her hair, and pushed her small wooden food cart to the roadside. Her menu was simple: rice, beans, stew, sometimes yam. Nothing fancy, just food that filled the stomach. She cooked with love. That was her secret. Some days were good. Some days were very bad. On bad days, she sold almost nothing, but she never complained. One early morning, while setting up her stand, she noticed 3 small figures sitting close to each other near a broken wall. They were children, 3 of them, all boys. They looked the same. Same eyes, same nose, same tired faces. Triplets. They were barefoot. Their clothes were torn. One of them coughed softly. Another hugged his stomach. They watched Mama Ifunanya cook. Their eyes followed every movement of her spoon. She noticed them. At first, she looked away. Not because she didn't care, but because caring was painful. If you fed 1 hungry child, 5 more would come tomorrow. She knew the street too well. Still, she couldn't ignore them. After serving her first customer, she turned to the boys. "Good morning," she said softly. They didn't answer. They only stared. "Are you hungry?" she asked. The smallest one nodded slowly. Mama Ifunanya sighed. She scooped a small plate of rice and beans. Then she added stew, extra stew. She walked over and placed it on the ground in front of them. "Share," she said. The boys looked at the food like it might disappear. Then they ate. Fast. Too fast. Like children who didn't know when their next meal would come. Mama Ifunanya turned away so she wouldn't cry. The next day, the boys came again. Same place, same time. Mama Ifunanya didn't say a word. She just served them food. The day after that, same thing. Soon, it became a routine. Every morning, before her first customer, she fed the triplets. She learned their names. Chinidu, the eldest, serious and quiet. Obina, the middle one, sharp eyes, always watching. Kalechi, the youngest, weak but always smiling. They had no parents, no home, no shoes. They slept behind abandoned shops and begged when they had to. Sometimes, Mama Ifunanya didn't sell enough food to cover her costs, but she still fed them. One day, her neighbor warned her. "Ifunanya, you can't save everyone," the woman said. "You are poor yourself." Mama Ifunanya nodded. "I know," she replied, "but I can feed 3. One afternoon, a rough-looking man approached her stand. He stared at the boys. "You're wasting food," he said. "They are not your children." Mama Ifunanya stood tall. "They are hungry," she replied. The man laughed. "You will regret this kindness." He walked away. Mama Ifunanya felt a chill run down her back. That night, she couldn't sleep. Something told her trouble was coming. One rainy morning, the boys did not come. Mama Ifunanya waited. She served customers slowly, looking at the broken wall again and again. Nothing. Her heart started to race. After closing early, she searched the street. She checked behind shops, under bridges, near the market. Then she heard shouting. A crowd had gathered. In the middle were three small bodies, shaking and covered in mud. The triplets. Someone said they were chased away by older boys. Mama Ifunanya pushed through the crowd. She dropped to her knees. My children, she cried. She held them close. At that moment, she made a decision. One that would change everything. But before she could act, a loud siren echoed down the street. A black vehicle pulled up fast. Men jumped out. People screamed. Mama Ifunanya hugged the triplets tightly. And then, one of the men pointed at her and shouted, "That's her." The shout echoed in Mama Ifunanya's ears. "That's her." Her heart jumped. She held the triplets tighter. People around stepped back in fear. Rain poured harder, soaking everyone. The boys shook, not just from the cold, but from fear. The men wore dark clothes. Their faces were hard. One of them held a file. Another spoke into a phone. Mama Ifunanya looked up slowly. "What did I do?" she asked in a shaking voice. One man stepped forward. "You feed these boys every day," he said. "Yes," she replied. "They are hungry." The man stared at her for a long moment. Then he surprised everyone. "That is why we are here." The crowd gasped. Mama Ifunanya's mouth went dry. The man explained. A nearby shop owner had reported her. He said she was hiding homeless children and causing trouble on the street. The authorities were called. The boys were supposed to be taken away. To where? Mama Ifunanya asked. To a shelter, the man said, not sounding sure. She looked down at the triplets. Kelechi clung to her wrapper. "Please don't let them take us," he whispered. Her heart broke. Mama Ifunanya stood up slowly. Her knees shook, but her voice became firm. "If you take them," she said, "then take me too." The men looked at each other. One laughed softly. "Madam, you want to suffer for children that are not yours?" She nodded, yes. Rain washed down her face like tears. In the end, the men left. They warned her, "If anything happens to them, we will come back." The street slowly returned to noise. But Mama Ifunanya knew something had changed forever. That night, Mama Ifunanya could not sleep. She lay on her thin mattress, staring at the roof. She was poor. She struggled every day, but those boys had no one. In the morning, she did something she had never done before. She packed her few clothes into a bag. She closed her food stand early. She went back to the street and found the triplets. "You will come with me," she said. Shanita frowned. "Where?" "To my room," she replied. They followed her quietly. Her room was small. One window, one mattress, one chair, but it was dry and safe. That night, the boys slept on the floor while Mama Ifunanya sat awake. She watched them breathe and prayed. Life became harder. Feeding 3 extra mouths was not easy. Some days, Mama Ifunanya skipped meals so the boys could eat. She worked longer hours. Her hands cracked from cooking. Her back ached. Her eyes grew tired. But the boys changed. They grew stronger. Shanita became protective. Obina became curious, always asking questions. Kelechi smiled more and coughed less. She sent them to a small local school when she could afford it. Sometimes she couldn't. When the school sent them home for unpaid fees, Mama Ifunanya cried quietly at night. But she never sent the boys away. One hot afternoon, Mama Ifunanya was selling food when a stranger stopped. He was well dressed, clean shoes, calm eyes. He watched the boys help her serve customers. "Are they your children?" he asked. She hesitated. "Yes," she said finally. The man smiled. "They are very smart," he said. Then he dropped a large note on the table and walked away without food. Mama Ifunanya stared at the money. It was more than she made in a week. She felt hope for the first time in years. But she did not know. That stranger was watching them closely. And that moment would set a chain of events in motion. Years passed. The boys grew into teenagers. Then one terrible day came. A letter arrived. An opportunity. A scholarship. All 3 boys were selected for a special program far away. Mama Ifunanya was proud, but afraid. very afraid. The day they left, she hugged them tightly. Never forget where you came from, she said. We won't, Chinita replied. They promised to return. The bus drove away. Mama Ifunanya waved until it disappeared. She went back to her food stand alone. Days turned into months. Months into years. No calls. No letters. People told her to forget them. They were not your children, they said. But every day she cooked. And every day she waited. Until one morning, the same street fell silent again. And 3 Rolls-Royce cars turned the corner. The Rolls-Royce cars were still far in the future. Right now, Mama Ifunanya stood alone. The boys were gone. The street felt empty, even when it was full of people. Every morning, she still woke up early. She still pushed her food cart to the roadside. She still cooked rice, beans, and stew. But something was missing. She no longer cooked 3 extra portions. At first, she kept doing it. Out of habit. She would serve customers, then look at the broken wall where the triplets used to sit. Her spoon would pause in the air. Then she would quietly pack the food away. Weeks passed. No message. No letter. No visit. Mama Ifunanya told herself they were busy. They are studying, she whispered at night. They will come back. Months passed. Still nothing. People began to talk. They used you, one woman said. They have forgotten you, another added. Mama Ifunanya smiled when they spoke. But at night, she cried into her pillow. Not because she wanted anything from the boys, but because she missed them. She missed Chinita's serious face. She missed Obina's questions. She missed Kalechi's laughter. Some nights, she dreamed of them calling her Mama. She would wake up with tears on her cheeks. As time went on, business became worse. New food sellers came with bigger stands and brighter umbrellas. Customers passed Mama Ifunanya by. One day, a local officer came to her stand. Your permit has expired, he said. She begged. I will renew it soon, she said softly. He shook his head. You have 1 week. That week felt like a death sentence. Mama Ifunanya worked harder than ever, but money came slowly. At the end of the week, she still didn't have enough. The officer returned. He kicked her stand. Pack your things, he said. People watched. No one helped. Mama Ifunanya packed her pots with shaking hands. That night, she slept hungry. One dusty afternoon, as she sat outside her room, a young boy ran up to her. Auntie, letter for you. Her heart jumped. Her hands shook as she opened it. There was no address, only a short message. Mama, we are alive, that we are trying. Please forgive the silence. No names, no location, no return address. Mama Ifunanya pressed the letter to her chest and cried. They had not forgotten her. That was enough. For now. Years continued to pass. Mama Ifunanya grew older. Her hair showed gray. Her back bent slightly. But her heart stayed soft. She started a smaller food stand in a new spot. Even when she had little, she still fed hungry children when she could. People asked her why. She always answered the same way. Because someone once fed me hope. She did not know that far away. 3 young men were remembering her every single day. Planning, building, waiting. One evening, Mama Ifunanya was closing her stand when a black SUV stopped nearby. A well-dressed man stepped out. He stared at her for a long time. You don't remember me, he said. She looked closely. Then her eyes widened. You, she whispered. The stranger from years ago. He nodded. I told you they were smart, he said. Her heart began to pound. Where are they, she asked. The man smiled slightly. They are coming. Coming where, she asked. Here, he replied. Before she could ask more, 3 luxury engines roared in the distance, and the street began to shake. The sound came first. Low, deep, heavy, like thunder rolling slowly toward the street. Mama Ifunanya's heart started beating so fast it hurt. People around turned their heads. Traders stopped shouting prices. Even the buses slowed down. Then everyone saw them. 3 Rolls-Royce cars. Black. Shiny. Untouched by dust. They moved slowly, with power and confidence, like they owned the road. The first one stopped directly in front of Mama Ifunanya's small food stand. The second stopped beside it. The third stopped behind. The engines went quiet. For a moment, no one breathed. Mama Ifunanya felt weak. She held onto her table, so she would not fall. This cannot be real, she whispered. The man in the suit stepped back and nodded toward the cars. They are here, he said softly. The door of the first Rolls-Royce opened slowly. A polished shoe touched the ground. Then a tall man stepped out. He wore a simple dark suit. No loud colors. No heavy gold. Just calm confidence. He looked around the street. Then his eyes found Mama Ifunanya. They softened. Mama Ifunanya gasped. Chinidu, she whispered. The man smiled. And in that smile, she saw the little boy who used to protect his brothers. Mama, he said. Her knees gave way. But before she could fall, the second car door opened. Another man stepped out. Sharp eyes. Calm face. Obina. Then the third door opened. The last man came out more slowly. He paused, looked at Mama Ifunanya, and broke into a wide smile. Kelechi. He walked quickly toward her. Mama, he called. People screamed. Some clapped, some whispered, some recorded with their phones. Mama Ifunanya touched their faces one by one, like she was dreaming. You are real, she cried. You are all real. They knelt in front of her. Right there on the dusty street. The same street where they once begged for food. The same street where she fed them every day. Chinita stood up and turned to the crowd. This woman, he said loudly, is the reason we are alive. People went silent. When we had nothing, she fed us. When we were sick, she protected us. When the world turned its back, she opened her door. Mama Ifunanya shook her head. I only cooked food, she said. Obina smiled. You gave us more than food, he said. You gave us a future. The stranger stepped forward. My name is Mr. Adekunle, he said. I found them years ago. I watched them. I tested them. He paused. They passed every test. He explained how the boys went through school. How they worked harder than everyone else. How they built businesses together. How they refused to leave anyone behind. We promised each other one thing, Chinidu said, that we would come back for Mama. Mama Ifunanya covered her mouth. You remembered, she whispered. Kelechi nodded. We never forgot. Chinidu raised his hand. These cars, he said, are not for showing off. People leaned closer. They are here to make a statement. Mama Ifunanya felt dizzy. What statement? She asked. Chinita looked at her. Today, he said slowly, everything changes. Before he could finish, a group of officials pushed through the crowd. The same officer who once kicked her food stand was among them. He pointed. What is going on here? He demanded. The street went tense again. Chinidu turned calmly. Officer, he said, you are just in time. The officer frowned. For what? Chinidu smiled. For the truth. The officer stepped forward with pride. He adjusted his cap and looked at Mama Ifunanya with the same cold eyes from years ago. What truth? He asked sharply. This woman is blocking the road. The crowd murmured. Mama Ifunanya lowered her head. Old fear returned to her chest. But Chinita did not move. Instead, he calmly pulled out a small black file. Officer, he said politely, before you speak again, please look at this. The officer scoffed. You think money scares me? But he still took the file. As he opened it, his face began to change. Slowly, line by line, his confident smile disappeared. The officer swallowed hard. These documents, he muttered, they show. Obina stepped forward. They show ownership, he said calmly, of this land. This road, and the shops around it. The crowd gasped. Kelechi added softly, we bought it. The officer's hand shook. That's impossible, he said. Chinita looked straight into his eyes. Nothing is impossible, he said, when you remember where you came from. The officer took a step back. Mr. Adekunle cleared his throat. Officer, he said, do you remember forcing this woman to close her food stand years ago? The officer said nothing. You abused your power, Mr. Adekunle continued. And today, power has returned to where it belongs. People began to whisper louder. The officer looked around. He realized no one was on his side. Mama Ifunanya lifted her head. Her voice was soft, but strong. I don't want trouble, she said. I just want to cook. Chinidu turned to her. And you will, he replied. He took her hand gently, but never like before. Chinito faced the crowd again. This food stand, he said, will no longer be small. People leaned in. We are building something here, Obina added. A place that feeds the hungry. Kelechi smiled. And gives work to people like Mama. Tears filled Mama Ifunanya's eyes. You did all this for me, she asked. Chinito shook his head. We did it, he said, together. Just as relief filled the air. A black van pulled up behind the Rolls-Royce cars. Men in uniform stepped out. The officer panicked. What is this? He shouted. One of the men approached him. Officer, he said firmly, you are under investigation. The crowd exploded with shock. Mama Ifunanya clutched her chest. Chinito held her hand tighter. It's not over yet, he whispered. Because the biggest decision, the one that would change Mama Ifunanya's life forever, had not been announced. The officer was taken away. People watched in silence as the uniformed men led him into the van. The same man who once kicked Mama Ifunanya's food stand now lowered his head in shame. The van drove off. Only then did the street breathe again. Mama Ifunanya's legs felt weak. She sat down slowly on a wooden stool. Her chest rose and fell fast. I don't understand, she said quietly. How did all this happen? Chinito crouched in front of her. Mama, he said gently, let us tell you everything. They moved her into the first Rolls-Royce so she could sit comfortably. People watched in shock as the poor food seller entered a car worth more than the whole street. Inside, it smelled clean and calm. Obina spoke first. When we left, it was not easy, he said. The scholarship was real, but it was also a test. Mr. Adekunle nodded. We wanted to see if they would stay honest, he said, even with opportunity. Kelechi smiled. We almost failed once, he admitted, but every time we wanted to give up, we remembered Mama. Mama Ifunanya pressed her hands together. God, she whispered. They told her how they studied day and night, how they worked small jobs, how they started a small business together, how it grew, how they lost money once and almost lost everything. But we never lost each other, Chinito said. And we never forgot you, Obina added. The car door opened. They stepped back onto the street. Chinito raised his voice so everyone could hear. We didn't come back to show wealth, he said. We came back to keep a promise. People leaned closer. Kelechi pointed to Mama Ifunanya's old food stand. That place, he said, is where our lives changed. Mama Ifunanya shook her head slowly. I only cooked food, she repeated. Chinito smiled. You fed our bodies, he said, and healed our hearts. Chinito turned serious. Mama Ifunanya, he said, we want you to stop selling food like this. Her heart skipped. Stop? Fear rushed back. But cooking is all I know, she said softly. Obina stepped forward. We want you to lead, he said. Lead what? She asked. Kelechi smiled wide. A foundation, he said. A place where no child sleeps hungry, Obina added. Chinito finished the sentence. And you will be the mother of it. Mama Ifunanya froze. The words did not make sense. Me, she whispered, I can't read big books. I didn't go far in school. Chinito took her hands. You taught us the most important lesson, he said, kindness. That night, Mama Ifunanya could not sleep. She lay on a clean bed in a guest house they arranged for her. The room was quiet. Too quiet. She remembered her old room. Her small stove. Her daily struggle. Am I worthy of this? She asked herself. What if she failed them? What if people laughed? Before dawn, she knelt beside the bed and prayed. God, she whispered, if this is from you, give me strength. The next morning, the triplets returned with documents. This will make it official, Obina said. Mama Ifunanya stared at the papers. Her hands trembled. This is too big, she said. Before she could decide, a woman pushed through the gate. Her face was hard. Her voice was loud. I object, she shouted. Everyone turned. Mama Ifunanya's heart dropped. She recognized the woman. It was the same neighbor who once told her to stop feeding the boys. You don't deserve this, the woman said angrily. You are hiding something. The room went silent. Chinito's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? He asked. The woman pointed at Mama Ifunanya. Tell them the truth, she said. Tell them what you did years ago. Mama Ifunanya's breath caught. A secret. One she had never told the triplets. One that could destroy everything. The room felt heavy. Mama Ifunanya, could hear her own heartbeat. The woman stood with her arms crossed, breathing hard. Everyone waited. Chinita looked at Mama Ifunanya with concern, not anger. Mama, he said gently, what is she talking about? Mama Ifunanya's eyes filled with tears. She slowly sat down. There is something, she whispered, that I never told you. The woman nodded sharply. Say it, she pushed, say it now. Mama Ifunanya took a deep breath. Years ago, she began, before I brought you boys to my room. She paused. There was a night, she continued, when officials came again. They said you must be taken away. The triplets listened closely. They said if I refused, she said, they would destroy my stand and send me to jail. Obina frowned. What did you do? He asked. Mama Ifunanya's voice broke. I lied, she said. The room gasped. I signed papers, she continued. Papers that said I was your blood relative. Silence. Kalechi's mouth opened slightly. You adopted us, he asked softly. Mama Ifunanya shook her head. No, she said, I didn't know the law. I only knew fear. Tears rolled down her face. I lied so they would leave you alone, she cried. I was scared you would hate me if you knew. The woman clapped loudly. You see, she shouted, she is a liar. A criminal. Mama Ifunanya covered her face. I was wrong, she said, but I would do it again to save them. The room stayed quiet. The triplets looked at each other. Then Chinita stood up. Mama, Chinita said calmly, is that all? She looked up slowly. Yes, she whispered. Obina shook his head in disbelief. That woman thinks this is shame, he asked. Kalechi wiped his eyes. You broke the law, he said softly, but you saved our lives. The woman stepped back. That doesn't change anything, she shouted. Chinita turned to her. It changes everything, he said firmly. Mr. Adekunle cleared his throat. I knew about the papers, he said. Everyone turned to him. And I fixed it years ago, he added, no charges. No record. The woman's face went pale. There is nothing to accuse her of, he finished. The woman stumbled backward. She said nothing more. Mama Ifunanya broke down crying. I'm sorry, she said again and again. The triplets knelt in front of her. Chinita held her hands. You didn't steal us, he said. You chose us. Obina smiled. You didn't lie for gain, he added. You lied for love. Kalechi hugged her tightly. You are our mother, he said. In every way that matters. Mama Ifunanya cried louder. But this time, they were tears of relief. Just as peace settled, Mr. Adekunle's phone rang. His face changed when he answered. This is serious, he said after listening. Chinita frowned. What is it? Mr. Adekunle looked at Mama Ifunanya. The land purchase, he said slowly. There is a problem. Mama Ifunanya's heart sank again. What kind of problem? She asked. Mr. Adekunle answered quietly. Someone else claims ownership. The room went cold. The room felt colder. Mama Ifunanya held her breath. Someone else? She asked quietly. How? Mr. Adekunle nodded slowly. A powerful man, he said. He claims the land belongs to his family. Chinita stood up straight. Who is he? He asked. Mr. Adekunle hesitated. His name is Chief Okari, he said. He is rich, influential, and stubborn. Mama Ifunanya's heart dropped. She knew that name. Everyone on the street did. That man, Mama Ifunanya whispered, is the reason I suffered. The triplets turned to her. Years ago, she continued, he wanted this street cleared. He said poor people made the area ugly. She swallowed. When I refused to leave, my stand was destroyed the first time. Silence filled the room. Kalechi clenched his fists. So he's back, he said. Yes, Mr. Adekunle replied. And this time he knows money is involved. That same evening, a black SUV stopped outside the guest house. A man stepped out. Tall, heavy gold ring, cold smile. Chief Okari. He walked in like he owned the air. So he said loudly, this is the famous food woman. Mama Ifunanya stood slowly. I only cook food, she said. He laughed. And now you think you own land? Chinita stepped forward. She owns dignity, he said calmly, and we own the land. Chief Okari smiled wider. We'll see. Chief Okari leaned close to Mama Ifunanya. Walk away, he whispered. Take your new money and disappear. Mama Ifunanya shook her head. I will not, she replied. His smile vanished. Then you will lose everything, he said. He turned and walked out. The door slammed. That night, Mama Ifunanya couldn't sleep again. She looked at the street from the window. What if this fight was too big? What if she became the reason the boys lost everything? She went to their room quietly. I don't want trouble, she said. Maybe we should stop. Chinita shook his head. Mama, he said, this street raised us. Obina added, and fear will not chase us away again. The next morning, papers arrived. Court summons. People whispered again. The rich man will win, they said. Mama Ifunanya felt small, but the triplets stood firm. We didn't survive hunger to run now, Kalechi said. Just when hope felt thin, a woman arrived. Older, well-dressed, calm. She walked straight to Mama Ifunanya. My name is Mrs. Adebayo, she said. I was Chief Okri's first business partner. Everyone froze. I've been looking for you, the woman continued. You saved my nephews once. Mama Ifunanya's eyes widened. I only fed children, she said. Mrs. Adebayo smiled. And that kindness is about to save you again. She turned to the triplets. I have documents, she said, real ones. Hope sparked. But before anyone could celebrate, a message came in. Chief Okri had made his next move, and it was brutal. The message came just after sunset. Mr. Adekunle read it once. Then again. His face drained of color. They've moved, he said quietly. Chinita stood up at once. What did he do? Mr. Adekunle looked at Mama Ifunanya. Chief Okri has ordered demolition, he said, tonight. Mama Ifunanya's breath caught in her throat. No, she whispered, not again. They didn't waste a second. The triplets jumped into their cars. Mama Ifunanya sat between them, gripping her wrapper tightly. As they drove, sirens wailed in the distance. The street came into view, and Mama Ifunanya screamed. Bulldozers, floodlights, men shouting orders. Her food stand, the place where everything began, was already half destroyed. Metal bent, pots crushed, wood broken. Mama Ifunanya ran forward. Stop, she cried. Please stop. A man blocked her. Orders from above, he said. Chinita stepped forward, his voice firm. Whose orders? Before the man could answer, a loud voice cut through the night. Mine. Chief Okri stepped out of the shadows. Calm, confident. You should have listened, he said. Obina held up a file. You have no right, he said. We have documents. Chief Okri laughed. Paper burns, he replied. Mama Ifunanya fell to her knees, not because of the stand, but because of the memory. This was where she fed hungry children. This was where love began. Kalechi clenched his fists. You won't win, he said. Chief Okri leaned close. I already have. Then, a car horn blared. Bright headlights flooded the street. Another vehicle arrived. Then another. Police cars, media vans. People poured in. Chief Okri's smile faded. Mrs. Adebayo stepped forward, holding a thick folder. Chief, she said calmly, this land was never yours. She handed the documents to the officers. Your father lost it years ago, she continued. You hid the truth. The officers opened the files. Chief Okri shouted, this is a lie. But his voice shook. One officer turned to him. Sir, he said, we also have reports of illegal demolition. Chief Okri stepped back. You can't touch me, he said weakly. But this time, no one listened. He was taken aside. The bulldozers stopped. The lights went off. Silence returned to the street. Mama Ifunanya sat on the broken ground, crying. Chinita knelt beside her. It's over, he said softly. She shook her head. My stand, it's gone. Obina smiled gently. No, Mama, he said, it's finished. Kalechi added, and tomorrow something new will rise. Mama Ifunanya looked up. What do you mean? She asked. Chinita looked at the street, then at her, and said words that made her heart stop. Mama, he said, this place will never be small again. But before she could ask more, morning light began to touch the sky, and with it came the day that would change everything forever. The applause slowly faded. People began to eat. Laughter returned to the street. But Mama Ifunanya felt something strange in her chest. Not fear, not joy, a quiet warning. She looked around. Something was missing. Mama, are you okay? Kalechi asked. She forced a smile. Yes, I'm fine, she said. But her eyes moved again to the edge of the street. The Rolls-Royce cars were still there, yet something felt unfinished. Mr. Adekunle stepped closer. There is one more thing, he said carefully. Chinedu turned to him. What is it? Mr. Adekunle lowered his voice. The demolition last night, he said. It wasn't only about this land. Mama Ifunanya's heart skipped. What do you mean? She asked. Mr. Adekunle sighed. Chief Okori didn't act alone, he said. He was working with others. Obina's eyes sharpened. Others like who? Developers, Mr. Adekunle replied. Powerful ones. The smiles on the triplets' faces faded. They wanted this entire area, he continued, not just the food stand. The street suddenly felt very small. Mama Ifunanya looked at the children eating. What about these people? She asked. Where will they go? Mr. Adekunle hesitated. That, he said, depends on what happens next. By evening, rumors moved faster than truth. They will push everyone away. They want to turn the street into estates. The poor will suffer again. Mama Ifunanya heard it all. Her joy faded into worry. She pulled Chinedu aside. My sons, she said softly. I don't want my blessing to become another person's pain. Chinedu held her shoulders. That will never happen, he said. But even as he spoke, a man in a suit approached. He handed Obina a phone. Urgent call, he said. Obina answered. His face went pale. He ended the call slowly. Who was it? Kelechi asked. Obina swallowed. A government office, he said. They are reviewing the entire district. Chinedu clenched his jaw. They want relocation, Obina continued. By force if needed. Mama Ifunanya felt dizzy. No, she whispered, not again. The street that raised them. The people she fed. The children laughing today. All at risk. Mama Ifunanya stepped forward. She stood on a wooden stool so everyone could see her. The crowd grew quiet. My people, she said loudly. I was once hungry like many of you. She paused. This place saved me, she continued, and I will not allow it to be destroyed again. People murmured. What can one woman do? Someone whispered. She raised her chin. I don't stand alone, she said. I stand with my sons. The triplets moved beside her. And for the first time, people realized this story was no longer just about kindness. It was about standing ground. As night fell, headlights appeared again. Not luxury cars. Official ones. A convoy stopped at the edge of the street. A man stepped out. Tall. Serious. Government badge on his chest. He looked straight at Mama Ifunanya. Madam, he said, we need to talk. The street went silent. Mama Ifunanya took a deep breath and stepped forward. I'm listening, she said. But inside her heart, she knew the hardest fight had not yet begun. The government man stood tall. His shoes were clean. His face showed no anger, no smile either. My name is Mr. Bello, he said. I represent urban development. People whispered. That name carried weight. Mama Ifunanya stepped closer. Speak, she said. We are listening. Mr. Bello looked around the street. This area, he said slowly, has been marked for redevelopment. A wave of fear passed through the crowd. Does that mean we must leave? Someone shouted. Mr. Bello raised his hand. Not yet, he replied, but there are plans. Mama Ifunanya's chest tightened. Plans that forget people, she said. Mr. Bello looked at her carefully. That depends on what you bring to the table, he answered. Chinedu stepped forward. What do you want? He asked. Mr. Bello opened a folder. Investors are interested, he said. They want land cleared. The crowd gasped. But, he continued, there is another option. Silence. If you can prove, he said, that this community serves a public good. He paused. And can sustain it. Obina's eyes lit up. You mean schools, food, jobs? He asked. Mr. Bello nodded. Yes, he said, on paper. Legally. Hope flickered. But it was fragile. There is a timeline, Mr. Bello added. Kelechi frowned. How long? Mr. Bello closed the folder. 30 days. The street exploded with noise. 30 days. That's impossible. Mama Ifunanya raised her hand. The crowd quieted. She looked at the triplets. 30 days, she repeated. Her voice did not shake. As the crowd slowly dispersed, Mr. Bello pulled Chinedu aside. Be careful, he whispered. Powerful people don't like losing. Chinito met his eyes. We're not afraid, he said. Mr. Bello sighed. You should be, he replied. He walked away. That night, the triplets sat together. We can do this, Obina said. We have resources. Kelechi nodded. But enemies, he added. Mama Ifunanya listened quietly. Then she spoke. This fight will test your hearts, she said, not your money. Her words landed heavy. Just before dawn, Obina's phone buzzed. A message. His face changed. What is it? Chinito asked. Obina swallowed. One of our partners, he said slowly, has pulled out. Kelechi stood up. Why? Obina looked at them. He's joined the developers. Silence filled the room. Mama Ifunanya closed her eyes. The battle had begun, and the clock was ticking. The sun rose on day one, but it did not feel like a new beginning. It felt like a countdown. Mama Ifunanya stood outside the Hope kitchen early that morning. She watched people walk past with worried faces. Some whispered. Some packed small bags just in case. Fear was spreading, and fear was dangerous. Chinito called everyone together. Traders, parents, youth, elders. They stood in a circle. We have 30 days, Chinito said, not to fight with anger, but to prove our worth. Obina opened a notebook. We need records, he said, meals served. Children helped. Jobs created. Kelechi added, and stories. Real stories. Mama Ifunanya nodded. Let the people speak, she said. That day, something beautiful happened. One by one, people came forward. A woman said the kitchen saved her child from hunger. That a man said he got work after years of nothing. That a young girl said she learned to read there. Tears flowed. Hope returned, but far away. Power was watching. On day 5, trouble came. Health officials arrived suddenly. They inspected the kitchen. They frowned. They whispered. Mama Ifunanya's heart beat fast. What is wrong? She asked. One officer spoke coldly. You lack some approvals, he said. This place may be shut down. The crowd panicked. Chinito stepped in. We will fix it, he said. The officer shrugged. You have 72 hours. Then they left. That night, Obina finally spoke. The partner who left us, he said. His name is Samuel Dyke. Kelechi's fists clenched. He ate Mama's food, he said. He knew our story. Obina nodded. He sold our plans, he added, every weakness. Mama Ifunanya sighed deeply. Money can blind, she said softly, but it can't see the future. To meet the approvals, money was needed. A lot of it. Chinito made a hard choice. We sell one car, he said. Kelechi's eyes widened. The Rolls-Royce? Yes, Chinito replied. Mama Ifunanya shook her head. No, she said. You worked too hard for that. Chinito smiled. We didn't buy them for pride, he said. We bought them for purpose. The car was sold. The papers were paid. The kitchen stayed open. Half the time was gone. Developers put up banners nearby. Future luxury estate, coming soon. People grew afraid again. Some families left. Mama Ifunanya watched them go. Her eyes filled with tears. Am I failing them? She whispered. That night, she fell sick. High fever. Weak body. The triplets rushed her to the clinic. The doctor shook his head. She needs rest, he said. Stress is killing her. Chinito held her hand. We stop everything if you say so, he whispered. Mama Ifunanya opened her tired eyes. No, she said firmly, finish this. On day 20, something unexpected happened. Students arrived. Volunteers. Church groups. Even people from other streets. They had heard the story. They came to help. Food was cooked non-stop. Forms were filled. Videos were recorded. Hope grew louder than fear. But still, the biggest decision was ahead. On the night of day 29, a letter arrived. Stamped. Official. Mr. Bello's office. Obina read it aloud with shaking hands. Tomorrow, he said, there will be a final hearing. Mama Ifunanya closed her eyes. Tomorrow would decide everything. The street slept that night, but no one truly rested. Morning came too fast. The sky was gray. The air was heavy. Mama Ifunanya dressed slowly. Her body was still weak, but her eyes were strong. She tied her wrapper with care. Like this day mattered more than any other. Because it did. Today would decide the fate of the street. The hall was big. Too big. Cold chairs. White walls, serious faces. Mama Ifunanya sat between her three sons. Chinidu Obina Kalechi. Across the room sat the developers. Clean suits, hard eyes, quiet smiles. Samuel Dyke was among them. He did not look at Mama Ifunanya. A tall man stood up. He spoke smoothly. This area is underdeveloped, he said. It brings no value to the city. Mama Ifunanya's hands tightened. We will build homes, he continued. Hotels. Jobs. The officials nodded. Money sounded good. Samuel stood up next. I used to partner with these boys, he said, but they are emotional. He pointed slightly. They are being led by sentiment. Mama Ifunanya felt pain cut her chest, but she stayed quiet. Then Mr. Bello spoke. Before we decide, he said, we will hear from the community. The developers frowned. Mama Ifunanya stood up slowly. She walked to the front. No microphone. Just her voice. I cannot speak big English, she began. I sell food. Soft laughter filled the room. She raised her head. But I know hunger, she said, and I know what food can do. The room went quiet. I fed 3 boys, she continued. I did not know they would be rich. She pointed gently behind her. I only knew they were hungry. Her voice shook, but she did not stop. If you take the street, she said, you take more than land. You take hope. Silence. Then something shocking happened. A woman stood up. Then another. Then a man. Then a child. One by one, people stood. They told their stories. How the kitchen saved them. How it gave work. How it gave dignity. Even a police officer stood. I grew up here, he said, and this place changed us. The officials looked uneasy. Obina stepped forward. He handed over a thick file. Records, he said, meals served, jobs created, donations. Mr. Bello flipped through it slowly. The room waited. Samuel shifted in his seat. Mr. Bello closed the file. He looked at the developers, then at Mama Ifunanya, then at the people standing. The decision, he said slowly, will not be made today. Gasps filled the room. We will visit the street ourselves, he continued, tomorrow. Mama Ifunanya's heart raced. Tomorrow? The developers looked angry. Samuel's face tightened. This was not over. Not yet. As everyone stood to leave, Samuel leaned toward Mama Ifunanya. You've won today, he whispered, but tomorrow power will remind you who it is. Mama Ifunanya looked him in the eyes, and for the first time, she was not afraid. The street woke up before the sun. People swept. Children helped carry chairs. Big pots were washed again and again. Mama Ifunanya stood quietly at the center of it all. She did not give many orders. She didn't need to. Everyone knew what to do. This was their home. By mid-morning, black official vehicles rolled in. Mr. Bello stepped out first. Behind him were planners, officers, and observers. The developers arrived too. So did Samuel Dyke. His eyes moved fast, searching for weakness. But what he saw confused him. The Hope Kitchen was already serving food. Long lines, order, laughter. Children ate calmly. Elders sat in the shade. Young people worked with pride. This is organized, one official whispered. Mr. Bello nodded but said nothing. They walked the street slowly. A woman spoke. This place fed my son when I had nothing. A man added, I got my first job here. A teacher stepped forward. These children now attend school, she said, because they eat here. The officials wrote notes. The developers frowned. Samuel cleared his throat. This is temporary, he said. Emotions will fade. Mama Ifunanya looked at him calmly. These people have been here longer than your plans, she replied. The crowd murmured in agreement. Samuel stepped back. As they approached the old broken wall, the same place where the triplets once sat, a small boy tugged Mr. Bello's trousers. Sir, the boy said politely, do you want food? Mr. Bello paused. The street went quiet. He knelt down. What is your name? He asked. Emeka, the boy replied. Why do you come here? Mr. Bello asked. Emeka smiled. Because nobody sends me away. Silence. Heavy silence. Later, Mr. Bello asked to speak privately with Mama Ifunanya. They stood aside. You have built something rare, he said, but pressure is coming from above. Mama Ifunanya nodded. I know, she replied. He looked at her closely. If I support you, he said, there will be consequences. She smiled gently. There always are, she said. Mr. Bello exhaled slowly. As the officials prepared to leave, the crowd waited. Mr. Bello turned back. You will hear from us, he said. No promise, no warning, just uncertainty. The vehicles drove away. People slowly returned to their work. But the tension stayed. That night, when the street slept, a single car stopped quietly nearby. A figure stepped out. Not Samuel, not a developer. Someone new. They stood across the road, watching the Hope Kitchen sign sway gently in the dark. Then they made a phone call. Yes, the voice said softly, this is bigger than we thought. The call ended. The figure disappeared into the night. And somewhere far away, a much more powerful decision was being made. Morning came quietly. No sirens. No shouting, just hope mixed with fear. Mama Ifunanya stood by the Hope Kitchen, stirring a pot slowly. The street was awake, but tense. Everyone was waiting. For a call, for a decision, for fate. Just before noon, Obina's phone rang. Everyone froze. He answered slowly. Yes, sir, he said. Yes, we understand. He ended the call. All eyes turned to him. Chinita stepped closer. What did they say? Obina swallowed. They are coming, he said, right now. Mama Ifunanya closed her eyes briefly and whispered a prayer. This time, the cars were different. Not luxury, not police. Official government vehicles. At the center was one man. Older, calm, respected. People recognized him immediately. A federal commissioner. The street fell silent. The commissioner listened. He did not rush. He walked the street. He spoke to the people. He watched Mama Ifunanya serve food, with shaking hands. Finally, he stood in front of everyone. I have heard enough, he said. The developers held their breath. Samuel Dyke looked away. This community, the commissioner said, will not be demolished. A loud cry rose from the crowd. Cheers, tears, people hugged each other. The land, he continued, will be protected as a community development zone. The developers' faces fell. Samuel stepped back slowly. The commissioner turned sharply. As for those who tried to destroy this place through lies and pressure, he paused. They will be investigated. Samuel's phone slipped from his hand. Chief Okery's name was mentioned again. This time, there was no escape. The commissioner turned to Mama Ifunanya. Madam, he said, you did what policies could not do. He held her hands. You fed the nation without knowing it. Mama Ifunanya cried openly. I only cooked food, she said softly. He smiled. And you changed lives. That evening, the street celebrated. No loud music, just joy. Children ate freely. Parents smiled without fear. The Hope Kitchen lights glowed warmly. Mama Ifunanya sat between her 3 sons. Chinita spoke quietly. Mama, he said, you fed us when you had nothing. Obina added, you stood when fear came. Kalechi smiled. And now the world stood with you. She looked at them with love. You made my cooking matter, she said. As night fell, the Hope Kitchen sign shone bright. People slept peacefully. For the first time in many years, no one feared tomorrow. And Mama Ifunanya slept knowing this truth. Kindness, when done quietly and daily, can defeat power. If this story moved you, please subscribe to this channel to support our growth. More powerful stories are coming. Don't miss them.